This is page 2 of that handout from 11.2 homework. Before we start on problems 14 through 17, here are those calculator instructions that I was telling you. This helps you find zeros that are fractions. If there's ever a question about whether there might be a rational zero that's a fraction, follow these instructions to help you. Problems 14 through 17. For each polynomial function, find all zeros and their multiplicities, set each factor equal to 0, and solve. The good news is these are already factored. You just have to set each factor equal to 0 and solve. And the multiplicity means how many times is that an answer. And the multiplicity is found by looking at that exponent that's outside of the parentheses. So x plus 1 equals 0. X equals -1. It's -1 with multiplicity of 2 because of that 2 right there. X minus 1 equals 0. X equals 1. It's 1 with multiplicity of 3 because of that 3. X squared minus 10 equals 0. X squared equals 10. X equals plus or minus the square root of 10. There's no multiplicity because there's no exponent outside of there. This is example 9. Example 10. You have 3 times x minus 2 times x plus 3 times x squared minus 1. This would be x equals 2, no multiplicity. X equals -3, no multiplicity. X squared minus 1 equals 0. X equals plus or minus the square root of 1, which is plus or minus 1. So this one didn't have any multiplicity. Homework problems 18 through 22 and 25 through 27. For each of the following, find a polynomial function of least possible degree with only real coefficients and having the given roots. This time I'm telling you the answers, and I want you to tell me the polynomial that I started with to get those. So if 1 is an answer and 7 with multiplicity of 2 are the other two answers, I must have started with x minus 1 times x minus 7 times x minus 7. But they won't let you leave it like that. You've got to multiply those three things together. It's going to be easier to multiply those last two and get x squared minus 14x plus 49. Multiply x minus 1 times that. I would separate it x times x squared minus 14x plus 49 minus 1 times x squared minus 14x plus 49, x cubed minus 14x squared plus 49x minus x squared plus 14x minus 49. Combine like terms, x cubed minus 15x squared. 49 and 14 are 63 minus 49. Final answer. If they tell me that that the square root of, let's see, what do we have on here? Example 12. They're telling me that 3 plus the square root of 2 and 3 minus the square root of 2 are the answers. They want me to tell them the polynomial. So I got to do x minus, open parentheses, 3 plus the square root of 2, x minus, open parentheses, 3 minus the square root of 2. Inside these parentheses, remove the parentheses. X minus 3 minus the square root of 2. X minus 3 plus the square root of 2. To make this easier to multiply, go back and insert a set of parentheses around x minus 3. Because these match, I have opposite signs here. So actually, I can multiply x minus 3 times x minus 3. I know that my middle terms on these big parts are going to cancel out. So I'm going to make this fairly painless. This is going to give me x squared minus 6x plus 9. I don't worry about these middle terms. The square root of 2 times the square root of 2 is just 2. Final answer, x squared minus 6x plus 7. Let's see if we have time for one more. If they are telling me on example 13 that my answers are 2 and 3i, I'm supposed to automatically know that negative 3i is also an answer. So I need to multiply x minus 2 times x minus 3i times x plus 3i. Multiply these two together. X squared, you know that your middle terms are going to cancel, so I'm going to have minus 9i squared. That's x squared plus 9 times that x minus 2 that's out here. So that I have x cubed minus 2x squared plus 9x minus 18. Hopefully, you've got enough information with this video and these handouts to help you make it through lesson 11.2. It's the longest, one of the longest lessons in this book. So I understand that you're going to think it's a little long, but just hang in there and you can do it.